Feminism is the biggest lie we have ever been sold as women. Now you may say, well, Savannah, I reject modern feminism, but I agree with the principles of feminism. And I would challenge you on that, because while the textbook definition of feminism is about equality between the sexes and women having agency over their own lives, what feminism actually is a movement funded by the wealthiest evil people with the goal to destroy marriage and family. It is designed to make you hate the very things God made unique about you as a woman.
For years, women were sold the idea that independence alone would guarantee fulfillment. And now some are beginning to question what that promise actually delivered. Failed relationships, financial pressure, broken families, and years spent chasing a lifestyle that didn't produce the happiness they expected have a way of changing perspectives. Now we're watching women openly reconsider whether the version of empowerment they were encouraged to pursue actually served them. Today, we're going to look at what happens when those questions finally become impossible to ignore. Stay until the end, because some of these realizations are arriving much later than anyone expected.
Feminism is a scam. Feminism is a scam. I do not want to be independent. I want to be so codependent. I need my husband. I want my husband. I want to follow his lead. That's how God created me. He created me in a way to follow. He created me as a helpmate. He created me as an opposite to Adam, right? If women could be a woman, if women acted like women, instead of men, we'd have better men.
It's interesting how clarity often arrives after the consequences do. Some women spend their younger years dismissing every warning, only to rediscover those same principles once experience has delivered the lesson personally. The question isn't whether someone is allowed to change their mind. They absolutely are. The interesting part is why ideas that seemed ridiculous at 20 suddenly start making perfect sense later in life.
Modern feminists are literally the destruction of women's rights. You think you gotta compete with men to be equal? I don't need a man, I'm strong, I make my own money, I'm a boss bitch. That's not true. We are literally single-handedly destroying our feminine superpowers. We gotta learn to embrace who we are and understand that the balance between men and women is what creates real strength. We all have a role to play to make a balanced society. Women are trying to fight and compete with men is like a goldfish trying to fight a shark. It's illogical and biologically impossible. Let's accept our nature and accept our differences. We gotta embrace our softness, our nurturing side, our intuition. If a man knows he's responsible and he doesn't abuse that power, and when a woman truly embraces her qualities, they're a powerhouse. They're absolutely unstoppable. Behind every great man is an even better woman. We all want a strong man. You can deny it all you like, but deep down, this is what every woman wants.
She's beginning to recognize part of the problem, but she's still holding on to assumptions that deserve closer examination. Successful men aren't necessarily successful because a woman stood behind them, just as successful women aren't automatically successful because a man stood behind them. Plenty of men build themselves through discipline, sacrifice, and years of work that nobody else sees. Relationships can complement success, but they shouldn't be credited with creating every successful person.
Women are statistically less happy than we've ever been, and it's because feminism sold us a lie on what happiness looks like. If you look at a lot of these studies, there is a sharp decline in female satisfaction and life and happiness right around the 1970s, and it's just been getting worse and worse. It's interesting because feminism was supposed to make women happier, right? Going to work was supposed to make us more liberated. Being able to freely sleep around was supposed to bring us like so much fulfillment and peace, but we're finding the opposite to be true. Go around and ask any woman if she's overwhelmed or not. Like 99% of us are. There is so much that we are expected to do and be in this modern age. It used to be that our main priority was our family and our home. To bear children, raise them, love them, nurture them. That was kind of where our focus was supposed to be. But a lot of the feminists didn't like that, right? That's degrading. So we gotta actually be like men. So this pressure to work and to go get a 9-to-5 and to bring in an income, that became a big part of the equation. That became a huge part of the economy. The point where now you can't really have a single...
Nobody needs to force an adult woman into a particular lifestyle for her decisions to matter. Career, relationships, casual dating, marriage, motherhood, or remaining single are all choices women can make for themselves. But when those decisions don't produce the expected result, Blaming everyone else doesn't change the outcome. Men who recognize lifestyles they don't want are equally free to quietly remove themselves from the equation.
I'll probably get dragged over hot coals for this, but feminism is the biggest scam of the last 100 years. Before liberation, women used to be the hardest part of society to tax. Yes, taxation on women was impossible. Why? They hung out at home, raised kids, and weren't cogs in the system. That's why the Rockefeller Foundation bankrolled feminism. It pushed women into the workforce and created more profits for them. Imagine telling women that liberation was to disrespect your husband, become rank and file to other male bosses, and go to a cubicle every day with birth control. That's not freedom. It's slavery in stiletto high heels.
That's what makes this realization interesting. A message can be repeated so often that women eventually stop questioning whether it actually matches their experience. Then one day, the lifestyle and the promise don't line up anymore, and suddenly uncomfortable questions start appearing. Having more rights and opportunities doesn't automatically answer the deeper question of what makes an individual life fulfilling.
Feminism is one of the biggest scams the world has ever seen. Feminism was designed to get women into the workplace so they can make more money off of their labor. And it was also designed to destroy the traditional family values. They actually convinced women that working and pursuing careers was better than pursuing their own family and nurturing their children with their husbands. Women are in a very different position now, and they're enjoying their luxuries of making money. But soon the world will witness a shift where the women will now become lonely and actually want a family. But by that point it will be too late and men will have moved on. And that's because women age like milk, whereas men age like fine wine. Follow for more free game.
Some women were convinced that fulfillment would simply improve with age, career advancement, and greater independence. Life doesn't work that mechanically. Money can solve financial problems, but it can't manufacture companionship, family, purpose, or genuine connection on demand. Meanwhile, the men who decided that particular lifestyle wasn't for them have simply continued moving forward.
Oh, well, I'll sleep around and have fun in my 20s and marry one of those men when I'm ready to settle down. Nope, it's too late, sister. The men that you claim don't exist in society anymore and the ones that you actually want, they're not waiting around for you. So you can't say, oh yes, men should be husbands and fathers and not devote their entire life to money, but I'm going to do that because I'm a woman. What?
And this is where many men have become completely detached from the argument. They're no longer interested in debating somebody into changing her lifestyle or convincing anyone that she made the wrong choices. They're simply deciding what kind of relationship they want and avoiding situations that don't fit it. That's what being unmoved looks like. You don't need somebody else's agreement to quietly choose a different direction.
I would love to be a stay-at-home mom. I would love to be a homemaker and a wife. I would love to be able to live on a homestead and go milk my cow and take the eggs out of the chicken coop and have one baby in the belly and on my hip and another toddler coming behind me. That's like my dream, but I can't do that because the way the economy is set up is I'm forced to work. I'm forced to get an education, a higher education, a college degree in order to make enough money that I can be financially independent and afford my own home or my own rent or my own gas or my own groceries, my own insurance. And it's extremely difficult to do that. And it's very isolating as a woman when you have to do all of that all on your own and you can't find somebody that you can outsource some of those chores and financial responsibilities like you would with a spouse. So no, being a single working woman absolutely sucks. It's the worst thing ever. I hate it. I would go back to the 1950s in a second.
She talks about wanting a completely different lifestyle, and technically nothing is preventing her from pursuing one. If rural life, simplicity, family, or something closer to traditional living genuinely appeals to her, she can begin making decisions that move her toward it. Talking nostalgically about another lifestyle while voluntarily maintaining the current one doesn't accomplish much. At some point, your actions have to match what you claim to value.
I did not know that the feminist rhetoric had gotten so bad, like it's so far gone, to the point where it has convinced you ladies that motherhood is not even worth doing. Wow, that's crazy. Do y'all know it's women out here who can't even fucking have kids. It's women out here who's like literally at the church altar praying on their knees every day to bear a child. But then you have women in the same world who have opted out because they say, oh, it's a sacrifice. I don't want to give up this and give up that. Like, you know, we weren't put here to live for ourselves, right? Like, this is insane. Feminism done fucked y'all up. It's, ooh, boy.
And that's ultimately why so many men are simply watching from a distance now. There's no need to argue, lecture, rescue, or convince anyone of anything. Women are free to chase whatever version of happiness they believe in, and they're equally free to reconsider it when the results arrive. Men can observe those outcomes, make their own decisions, and continue moving forward completely unmoved and unbothered. If the message hit, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.